Welcome to the U World Order Showcase Program, the platform dedicated to highlighting visionary entrepreneurs and coaches who are shaping the U World economy. Each week, we're celebrating the power of the individual and coming together to uplift and empower one another to reach new heights of growth and prosperity as we showcase a coach, company, or entrepreneur stepping out to be the change they want to see in the world. With our collective efforts, we're creating a world where every person has the tools to realize their full potential and thrive like never before. Join us today as we chat with this week's guest to learn how they got started, what they're doing, and how they're making a difference in shaping the U World Order.
Hi, and welcome to the U World Order Showcase Program. Today we're speaking with Dee. She is a Chief Excitement Officer, CEO, and Empowerment Coach for Fire Within Coaching. Her 20-year career expands across insurance, community outreach, and healthcare industries. She's a master's in executive leadership and recently became a certified business and life coach. She's dedicated to helping businesses provide psychologically safe environments to prevent workplace trauma. Please help me welcome Dee to the show. So please help me welcome Dee Hoch. Welcome, Dee. It's nice to have you on the show. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing.
So my name is Dee, and I am a coach. I own Fire Within Coaching, and the name means a lot to me. I was burnt out for about 13 years, and I didn't know better. I didn't know that I had other options because I was just doing what I thought I was supposed to do. So I decided to start my company and leave the corporate world and help prevent workplace trauma, because that's something that, people generally don't want to talk about. But I like talking about things that people don't like to talk about. So just creating psychological safety for their people. And I also have a podcast where I want people to come on and just talk about what their passion is, and I want them to inspire other people.
That sounds really exciting. So what got you started in that?
So mainly it was my own experience. So for 13 years, what happened was I had moved to Virginia, not knowing anybody from New York. So I really already had that where I wasn't really sure who I was, where I was supposed to be, new environment. So I ended up burning myself out by going to school, being a parent, being a wife, working full time. And I thought I was supposed to be able to handle all of that. And you're not supposed to be handling all that stuff.
It's a great lie that was told to a whole generation of people.
Absolutely.
You can be super mom. Have it all.
Yeah. I mean, you can have it all, but you have to have it in small bits, right? So if I look back, I definitely would have changed, just my mindset, of course, and maybe do school, then work, or work, then school, something like that, because I definitely did burn myself out. And because of that, my mental health took a huge decline. And that's something that I don't want other people to deal with. I want other people to feel safe when they're at work.
So what kind of work did you do?
I worked in care.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
I'm sorry. I worked in healthcare.
Okay.
So I was working and going to school, and when I got my master's degree, I was at that point where I'm like, oh, great. Now I can do what I'm supposed to do. And it didn't happen. So for 2 years, I was just continuing to do that downward spiral, because I wasn't happy with where I was, because I thought that I should have been farther. And then last August, when I started my company, it finally got to the point. Well, actually, let me back up. So before the pandemic, I had started a new job within the healthcare organization that I was working at. And I was like, this is awesome. This is where I want to be. And then COVID hit and it just rocked my world. And it changed everything for me. I felt really isolated. And I just didn't feel like I could connect with my, new coworkers. So then in August, I kind of like, not really snapped, but I was kind of like snapped out of it and was like, wait a minute, I don't have to do this. I don't have to, feel this way. Yeah.
So why are you passionate about what you do, and does it align with who you are now?
So yes, it 100% aligns with who I am now. And honestly, it makes me passionate because I wish that I had a me, like me now. So I wish I had somebody who would take the time and say, hey, give me your hand, I'll help you through this. And I didn't have that safe place. And certainly I didn't have the safe place inside my mind either. Because there's a lot of like negative self-talk and stuff like that. But yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So how do you actually, who do you help? Let's start there.
Yeah. So I help organizations, business leaders, managers, pretty much anyone that is in that position where they can help the culture. I'm very culture driven. I feel very strongly that psychological safety is the foundation of any healthy workplace. So I work with them explaining that, and also just coaching them through certain aspects of what's holding them back. A lot of times it's the limited belief system, and it's I was supposed to do this. And then I also work with individuals and do individual coaching. One of my favorite coaching is the safety coaching. Because after the pandemic, I started going back to the grocery store and I would have panic attacks and I wouldn't be able to be in the grocery store. I would just get so overwhelmed and I would have to leave. And it was because where I felt isolated for so long, I didn't feel safe going somewhere very simple like a grocery store. So it's very important to me to build trust, to help others build trust with the people in their lives, as well as just feel safe within themselves. Because I didn't have that. And I wish I did.
There are a number of people around that, I think it's called agoraphoria or something like that, where they can't leave their house because they're just like paralyzed to stepping out, and because they don't feel safe, and I'm sure it's much more complicated than I'm oversimplifying it for sure. So when you work with companies, do you have like a package? Do you work with their employees? Do you just work with the managers? How does that look?
Yeah, so I do have a program. Originally, it was a leadership development program, and it's just working on, those interpersonal skills. And then I realized, you know what, you don't have to be a leader to have these skills. You need these skills regardless if you're a leader or not. So I am putting it together. And so it's not completely done yet, but I'm putting it together in a professional development a professional development program where I'm looking at 12 weeks where we can do intensive coaching, as well as some activity, some scenario-based activities as well. I have a history of learning and development, so I really enjoy teaching people, but I also enjoy the coaching. Of course, I love the coaching aspect of it as well.
The one-on-one, because it makes such a difference when you're just like connecting individually with people, and the ripple effect is huge.
It's huge. It is so big. I had one client who, she was actually one of my first clients, and she was really in a rut. Her self-esteem was down, and it turned out it's because she didn't have a raise for 3 years. And she wasn't sure how to approach that. So just something simple as, how do I advocate for myself? So, we did some exercises, some, and some meditation and stuff like that, just to get her centered. And, she asked for her raise, and, she got it. So for me, I was like, wow, if we just have people in the workplace that have a safe person to ask those questions, to, like, hey, how do I ask for a raise? So those are the type of things that I really, it's more the human to human connection that I like.
Almost like human resources training.
No, so I feel like human resources is, I would say, more, I don't even know, because I feel like human resources kind of puts it in a, I don't even know. Actually, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Normally, when you approach human resources, they're like the gatekeepers of the company, and they're kind of scary people. But if you train them to be more approachable and to be more employee oriented, they probably would get more out of their employees if their employees felt safe approaching human resources, rather than, the impression that you and I both share.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I know I couldn't even put it into words. And I actually did work for human resources for a little bit. And it's just, for me, I believe in the progressive. I believe in moving forward. I believe that the system is broken. And that's not always the belief, with human resources. So for me, it's all about the human development, because I feel like that's the backbone of your company. Regardless of what your company is, your employees are your backbone. They're who's going to represent your company. Mm-hmm.
You could actually work on getting your clients would be more along the lines of people that would want to go into human resources, and they could have the certification that says, I've been trained to help people be able to express themselves in a safe environment. Mm-hmm. So it's more like a training for people to take to get a job,
right?
Rather than trying to approach the companies themselves. Because that's like going up against Goliath.
Yes.
Got to go in the back door.
Yes. Well, and that's what I said. I was on some calls earlier, and, I was like, I can't do it by myself. I can't take on corporate America. I can't. But what I can do is I can get as many talented people as I know that have the same viewpoint of me, and we can become a force. And even if we make a little bit of a change, that's
a lot of people making a little bit of change will change the world. And that's what we're all about here too.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So is there anything that you'd really want our listeners to know?
About me?
About what you're doing?
In general.
About just
so I would say, if you are someone who really feels like you're just spinning your wheels, and we spend 50% of our time or more at work. So if you do not feel safe at work, if you do not feel like you can, your opinion is valued, or you can even voice your opinion, that's a red flag. So I would say, know your red flags, know, and trust your gut. Trust, like I knew long ago when I started in healthcare, it was not for me, but I did it because I thought I was supposed to. So challenge your limited beliefs, and really just ask questions, ask why. So, yeah.
So how can people get in touch with you?
Sure. So I am on, I'm on Alignable, and I'm on LinkedIn, Polywork, and Facebook, and all of it is under Dee Hoch.
Hoch.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we'll put the links in the description below for you to get in touch with her. It has been our pleasure chatting with you, Dee.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing how your company progresses.
Thank you. We're young, but we have the fire, so we're ready.
Isn't that the name of your company?
It is. Fire Within Coaching.
Fire Within Coaching. There you go. Be sure and like and share this with your other coaching friends, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to the You World Order Showcase program. We hope today's episode has inspired you to consider how you can leverage your unique skills and talents to be the change you want to see in the world. If you're ready to take the next step and turn your passion into a 5-figure part-time business, we invite you to schedule a private consult at heartlifecoach.com. During our Passion to Profit breakthrough session, we'll work together to identify your strengths, clarify your vision, and develop a tailored plan for achieving your goals. Don't settle for mediocrity or let fear hold you back from pursuing your dreams. With the right guidance and support, you can build a thriving business that brings you joy, financial freedom, and the opportunity to make a positive impact in the world. Head over to heartlifecoach.com today to schedule your Passion to Profit breakthrough session and take the first step towards creating the life you've always wanted. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the You World Order Showcase program.